Hi guys, welcome back. So some of you have been looking at paper manipulation with me in art, and today we're going to be having a go at using paper to create a 3D base. So for this lesson you're going to need a pair of scissors, a glue stick, a pencil and some paper or card. Our piece of paper needs to be portrait. Then we're going to take our other piece of paper and we're going to cut the shape out for our head. So I'm going to cut this piece of paper probably in half. Cool, so when we've done that we need to fold a tab on each side of our piece of paper so that we can stick it down. So fold a small tab and then I'm going to do the same again on the other side. So now these tabs will allow me to put some glue on it so I can stick it to make it 3D. So once you have your glue on, we're going to aim for the middle of our piece of paper. And we don't want it to be flat, we don't want it coming right out. We want to make sure that we have equal distance on each side. And then stick that down. You might need to run your hand on the inside along the tab. Looking good. We're going to do pretty much the same thing again. So for this I'm going to need a smaller strip of paper. I'm going to make sure that it's going to reach the end of the paper. So I've just kind of measured it. And I'm going to cut myself a small strip. And on this one I'm going to make the tab slightly bigger because I don't want it to be as high as my head. Okay, so now I can turn that over and that's going to slot underneath to make my neck. Then you need to add your glue to each tab. And then same again, we're just going to stick it down underneath using our tabs. There we go, we've got our head and our neck. Next we're going to have a go at making it the nose. I've taken my strip of paper that I had left over and I'm going to cut myself a slightly thinner strip for his nose. And I've cut it down ever so slightly so it's a little bit shorter. Then what I'm going to do is make a fold just under halfway. So you're going to add your glue at the top of that strip and then we're going to bring up the bottom and glue it to the top. So you get this kind of, feel like a bird shape. So the next thing we need to do is put some glue on the top of that nose there and we're going to glue it in the middle of our face. There's our nose all ready. Now we need to add the eyes. So with another piece of paper I'm going to draw myself 2 eyes ready to fit on my face. And then cut them out. Then we're going to add some pupils in the middle, so we're going to draw 2 more circles, smaller ones though, that are going to sit in the middle. And then cut them out as well. And I'm going to do one more that's slightly smaller, just to add another layer. So they will sit on there. So first thing we need to do, guys, is glue the slightly smaller ones onto these ones. Once they're glued together, we're going to have a go at gluing these on top of the big circle. But the first thing we want to do is we want to make them 3D. We want to make them come out a little bit more. So we're going to make a layer to go in between. So I've got myself a nice thin strip of paper that's going to be able to hide behind that pupil. And all I'm going to do is make a small fold and then just keep folding it round on itself. And then when you get to the end, grab your glue stick, add a bit of glue, and then glue it together. So I've got one to go on this eye. So you can see that just raises it a little bit more. And then we need to do the same again on the other side. So grab yourself another thin strip of paper, roughly the same length. Make a small fold, and then wrap it around itself. And then when you get to the end, add some glue. Cool, so now we've got two of them. We need to get them stuck down. So glue that onto the big circle, and then we can glue the people on top. There we go, 2 eyeballs ready for our face. So now we're going to glue our eyes onto our face. For that we're going to make them stand out, so we need to make ourselves 2 little tabs to make them ping out from the face. So small piece of paper, and we're going to fold it twice to make a small tab. So one side is going to stick onto the face and the other side onto the eyeball. So pop some glue on. So I'm going to have my eyeball around here, and then I can stick that on top. Good. Same again. So I take my other strip of paper, fold it twice. You don't want it to be too big, otherwise it's going to come out from the face too far. So glue that side and that side. That's going to go onto my face about here. And then my eye on top. Nice. So now for the mouth. So what we need to do, use your pencil again. We're going to draw ourselves a nice big mouth onto a piece of paper. So I'm going to do my V. And then I'm going to curve that down to the sides. And then underneath do my boat. So nice and big, you'll see why in a minute. Cut that out. So once you've got that, we're going to cut it straight down the middle. So that's why it needs to be nice and big. So we've got 2 parts to our lips that we're going to stick on individually so they come out. So we need to make 2 more small tabs. These are slightly different. So just a really small piece of paper now, and we're just going to do 1 fold in half. Okay? So that's going to go, the first one, below the nose, so that the tab is on the face and then it's coming out. So then my top lip is going to stick on top of that. Okay? So step 1, we're going to stick our top part of our lip. So we had 2 parts. The top part, we're going to stick onto that tab. Okay? Then the bottom tab is going to go onto the face. So just under the nose, push it backwards a little bit so it's at that slight angle. And now we need to do the same again for the bottom lip. So small tab, fold it in half. And then we're going to get our bottom lip. So the curve of our bottom lip's here. This time my tab is stuck like that. So it's coming from the top. Before it was at the bottom. This is going to be at the top of that bit. So glue on my tab. Stick it on. And holding it downwards. Then we're going to put some glue on that little tab there. And now he's going to sit underneath, so he's going to be pointing down towards the neck. The other one was pointing up towards the nose. This is going down towards the neck. So that it looks like our mouth is open. So now we're ready to add the hair. With the hair, this is where you can choose whatever you want to do. There's lots of different ways you can do it. Think back to that paper manipulation lesson where you were experimenting with lots of different techniques. So you could use some curls coming out of the head. So remember, for that one, you just take your pencil and you wrap your piece of paper, your strip of paper, around the pencil nice and tight, and then open it up and you get yourself a nice curl. So we could use lots of these coming out of the head to make a nice curly hair. You might want to try pleating your paper so you can have more zigzaggy, springy hair. And if you remember the fringe technique, we could do that as well. We could stick that on top and then we could do a longer fringe that would come down the sides of the hair. Okay. I'm going to add my hair on top. I'm going to be more spiky kind of hair. So first I'm going to start with a nice strip of paper that's roughly the length I want it. And I'm going to cut, you might want to draw this first. I'm going to cut myself some kind of spiky, sway hair. It's going to sweep across the front of his face. Okay, so that might sit on his head like that. So now I need to attach this. I'm going to make myself a tab again to help me do that. So a piece of paper, I'm going to fold it in half. I'm going to glue the inside on the inside of the head, and then on the tab I'm going to glue his hair. Glue on the inside, stick it on the inside so it folds over. And I'm going to add a bit of glue here because I'm going to glue it on down here. And then I'm going to put some glue on my tab. And then I can glue that on top. I'm going to add another piece of hair that's going to run under here that this is then going to kind of sit on top of. So another strip again, and that's going to go underneath here. So I'm going to cut in some more spikes. And I'm going to make myself another small tab to sit just here. So fold it in half, glue on the inside, and I'm going to stick it underneath here. So I've added my second tab and I'm going to glue this piece of hair onto that tab. Now I can start adding my second piece of hair. I've put some glue on the end because that's going to glue to the side of his head. And then I'm going to put a bit more glue on this end. Because then I can glue that on top. So this one here, I've added some more hair coming out the top of his head. That's up to you. Like I said, you don't have to do this hair. You could choose to do some curly hair coming out of the top. You could do some zigzaggy, crazy hair, or you could use the fringing technique. It's up to you. And one last thing I didn't add, but you could add, are some ears coming out the side of his face. So if you are going to add ears, cut out an ear shape, make yourself a little tab, and then you can just glue that to the side of the face. So I've quickly added 2 ears on the side of my face using that technique. I might decide to add another small layer in the middle. Looks pretty cool. You can add ears if you want to, you don't have to. You could do a different shape here, up to you. There you go guys, I look forward to seeing your wacky creations and have fun.